All right. Got another rant against these big city politicians and state politicians and all these federal idiots. Oh, we need to do this, we need to do that, blah, blah, blah. Um, well, it's going to take this long before we get a cure. Once we get one figured out, blah, 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 and start being able to distribute it. You know, one thing you're not hearing about? The farmers. The farmers and the small towns that support the farmers. Well, if they have a cure in a year, okay, great. What's going to happen if there's a bunch of farmers, or it starts spreading amongst the farmers in the small towns? You ain't going to have no food next year either, because it'll take a couple years to get caught up. It takes a year to grow stuff. A factory doesn't make beef. A factory doesn't make wheat and bread. A factory makes bread, but it doesn't make the wheat to make the flour. The potatoes have to grow in a field. It takes a year for those to grow. A year for wheat to grow. So how come the news media, you never hear nothing about the farmers and the food supply? Curious. I find that very curious myself. Because if you end up with sick farmers, you won't have no food. Everything you eat comes from a farmer. Except a little bit you might be able to grow in your garden. Think about that for a second, people. All you hordes of people in the big cities, where do you think your food comes from? It's always funny listening to all these big city people complain about farmers and, oh, farmers are so dumb, farmers are this, farmers are that. Well, farmers are what keeps you alive. Because your food doesn't grow inside of a factory. Think about that for a sec. So I think farmers are top priority. Just like doctors and nurses and grocery store workers. Grocery store workers aren't going to be told, well, you get to go home. Well, we're going to lay you off and pay you for, no, that ain't going to happen because they're expected to work too. And most of them barely get minimum wage or maybe $1 or $2 more. And they are right on the front lines. They're right in the front lines just like doctors and nurses because they're exposed to hundreds and hundreds of people a day. And all you people are going to say, well, then they shouldn't be working there. Well, then who's going to be there stocking your shelves so you can get your food? Someone's got to do it. And no matter who does it, they're going to be getting endangered. Just like the doctors and stuff. And the nurses. You keep hearing about, all the frontline people and all this stuff. They keep forgetting to mention the front line also includes those people working at grocery stores and the markets that have to stay open. Otherwise, there would be total chaos. And who do you think stocks those markets? The farmer. So if you think about that, your airplanes, your Boeing, your computers, all that garbage don't mean nothing. You can live without that junk. You can live without your YouTube. You can live without your Wi-Fi. You can live without your telephones. You can't live without food. Think about that. So before everybody sits back and says, well, this, that, whoa, poor me. Think about the farmer. That's where your food comes from. All these tech companies and all these people that think they're all, oh yeah, we're so intelligent because we work at a tech company. What do you eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Something that came from a farmer. Maybe you ought to think about that one too before you sit there and say stuff about farmers and how dumb farmers are. Y'all have a good one. That is my rant for this afternoon. Let's just show everyone a little respect, especially the people who really deserve it and keep us going. The doctors, nurses, grocery store workers, and them farmers. And the police and the firemen. They're the things we can't do without. Bye, all.